So after a break, we are with SS again, chapter 11, Indian Judiciary, and we are continuing with the power and jurisdiction of Supreme Court. What is the original jurisdiction? We had gone through. Now we are going to the second point, that is appellate jurisdiction. Three types of appeal can be made in the Supreme Court apart from under the appellate jurisdiction. Number one is cases of constitutional interaction. If there is a case regarding interruption of the constitution or constitutional law. Number two, appeal against the civil cases. Civil cases means the cases that conduct the land problem, your asset problem regarding this thing. And number third one is appeal against criminal cases. Crime, appeal against criminal cases. Number one, now any person can approach a Supreme Court against judgment, order or writ given by the High Court on any case only if a certificate is issued by the High Court, along with the judgment that the case involves any matter pertaining to the Constitution which has been falsely interpreted or contains any important question of law, and hence the petitioner can appeal in Supreme Court. So with the permission and with the letter and with the judgment, a person can appeal, a petitioner can file his or her appeal in the Supreme Court within a certificate given by the High Court apart from the judgment. If any such certification is not given by the High Court, and if the petitioner approaches the Supreme Court, then in such circumstances, if the Supreme Court finds that any constitutional right is violated, then it can be accepted the petitioner's appeal. Means by giving an appeal, if the we can directly also file an appeal towards Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court studies this appeal and then it holds it. But in any of the circumstances, only the petitioner who is a party in the working of High Court can approach the Supreme Court only under the reason that a false judgment is issued by the High Court or any other court. He has to prove that the judgment given by the other courts and High Courts are false one. Then he or she can approach a petition, a file towards the Supreme Court. This comes in appellate jurisdiction. Now number two, in case of the civil cases, if the High Court certifies that the case involves important question of interpretation of law and that case holds general importance and it's necessary that Supreme Court decides, then an appeal can be made in the Supreme Court. Judgment of any civil cases involving a sum of rupees 1 lakh or more can be challenged in the Supreme Court. So if the High Court feels that this particular judgment must be given by the Supreme Court, then the petitioner can file the case in the Supreme Court. Apart from that, money matter more than lakh rupees can be filed. Such a case can be filed in the Supreme Court. Now number three. In case of the criminal cases, if any lower court has acquitted the criminal from a capital punishment, in that case, the High Court has given capital punishment to the criminal. Then in such circumstances, an appeal can be made in Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can review its own judgment. It can transfer cases that are going on in other courts to the Supreme Court. The Parliament can increase the power of the Supreme Court by framing an act. So, in a certain capital cases, just like that, we are having the cases of Nirav Modi, we are having the cases of Harshad Mehta, we are having the case of Anil Ambani regarding capital amount, some money. Then these cases are transferred to the Supreme Court because it consists a lots and lots of capital investment and such problem regarding these all things. Now, advisory jurisdiction. What is advisory? The word itself says now, what is advisory jurisdiction? If the President feels that any particular matter or question holds importance from the point of view of public welfare, then the President can take a counsel of the Supreme Court by sending the matter or question to the Supreme Court for consideration. For example, we went through both of the houses, upper house and lower house. Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, we can call it Parliament. It's such a problem, critical problem, when it is discussed, and then you know that the bill, act, the problem, the fact, it goes towards the President for the final signature. But in some cases, if the President thinks, feels that it must be discussed according to the jurisdiction of India, then what happens? These cases are then transferred to the Supreme Court or the panel of the judges of the Supreme Court to be discussed. Some severe, some critical cases are there regarding many things. We can say that if the President feels like that these cases must be discussed properly in the view of for the people, by the people, any party, any state, any other government, any other country too. So such cases are solved by the President transfer this case, give this case for the study towards the Supreme. Under this provision, the President can avail counsel for the Supreme Court in the question pertaining to law, reality and constitutional interpretation or relevancy of any bill. But if the Supreme Court find it unnecessary to consider or give opinion on the said matter, it can send it back to the President, and it is not mandatory for the President to follow the advice or counsel given by the Supreme Court. So if even the bench of the Supreme Court, judges of the Supreme Court, if they feel, they can make it little bit change, and it is not compulsory that all the changes are accepted by the President. In some severe cases, in particular cases that are regarding to the constitutional, its laws, its regulations, its rights, etc. So the case is studied over there, and if the President thinks that these suggestions are going to be good for the constitutional laws and regulation, then and then only he keeps it and signs it according to the bill, anything, act, anything else that is too much important towards the constitutional, constitutional laws, etc. Now, Court of Record. What is Court of Records? Court of Records hold an evidential value, and when any record from the court are presented, no objection can be taken against it. Again, I would like to repeat this line. Court of Records an evidential value, and when any records from the court are presented, no objection can be taken against it. The judgment and decisions of the Supreme Court are considered as permanent documents and all are bound to accept it. They are used as references by the subordinate courts while giving judgment and decisions. Any court showing its contempt or disapproval can be punished. So it's also called Court of Records. Supreme Court is also called the Court of Records. All the judgment given by the Supreme Court, as you know, it is the apex court. It is what it is, impartial. It gives the perfect judgment. And all these notes, as you all keep some notes with you, some points are mentioned by the teacher, and you all keep these points towards within you, just like the same system. And the following, for example, x plus y whole square in mathematics gives x square plus 2xy plus y square. This is proven. This is the proof. It has been derived in all your books that this particular formula gives this thing. So such like many decisions, many whatever we can say, these judgments are derived on records, and these judgments are used by different other courts, the judgments given by the Supreme Court, and they are in use. And if any court goes against these judgments, then it is punishable for them. Now High Court. Another thing that we are having, each and every state is having High Court. Next level of jurisdiction, we can say it is High Court. What is High Court? Now we are going to have another topic, that is High Court. One of the key positions in the country's hierarchical pyramid of the Indian judiciary is occupied at the state level by the High Courts. High Court is the apex court at the state level, while Supreme Court is the apex level at the central level, means all of India. Supreme Court stands apex. But regarding the state, High Court is apex at the state level. The Constitution provides one High Court for every state. The President has the power to form one High Court for two or more states. In India, there is one common court for state of Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Please underline this thing. For two or more states, if for one or more state, a president can decide a particular one court, and that we are having an example as Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Similarly, under the jurisdiction of the High Court of Assam falls the state of Manipur, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. So there is a High Court of Assam at Assam for Manipur, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. We are having one. Now, what is the formation of this court? High Court. The Chief Justice of the High Court is appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the Governor of the respective state. As you all know that the judges, the Chief Justice of Supreme Court is appointed by the president in a such way the Chief Justice of High Court of any state is appointed by the president, and as we know, governor is also like the president of state. As president of India, we have about 29 or more states, and each state have governor within it, and the governor with the help of president appoints the judges of the High Court. The Chief Justice of High Court is consulted in the appointment of other judges of the High Court. A president is a representative of the Prime Minister and the cabinet ministers, and hence only president appoints the Chief Justice only after discussion and conciliation with the Prime Minister and cabinet ministers. So with the help, as the president is the head, you all know, with the help of the member of parliament and other minister, prime minister we can say, and other cabinet minister appoints the Chief Justice of High Court. The age limit of the judge of the High Court is 62 years, while it was 65 in age limit in Supreme Court judges. They can tender resignation addresses to the president. The president can remove any of the judges of the High Court through the process of impeachment carried out in the parliament, and on proving the charges of misconduct or malpractice of the judges. The judges of the High Court can be transferred anywhere in India. The number of judges is not the same in all the High Courts of India. If the president feels that the workload of the High Court has increased, then he can appoint ad hoc in charge judges to the High Court for a period of 2 years. Please underline this thing. It might be in your MCQs. All the work of the Supreme Court and the High Court is carried out in English language, but if any legislative assembly of any state passes a resolution that work of the High Court or related state be carried out in the languages of that state, then the work of the High Court of that state can function in the language of that state. So, most probably the work here is done in English. But if any legislative assembly passes of any state passes a resolution that the work of the High Court must be related to the local language, then and then only their language is to be changed. Otherwise, everywhere in India, the Supreme Court and High Courts, the work is done in English language. So, I would like to say to you all how English is necessary for you all. Why English is necessary to be learned more and more to all of us within me. You can just go through the net and find out the judgment given by any judges, any judgment you can go through, which type of English is written in that. I am damn sure that you will not understand just single line regarding this thing. So the English that is worked over, used over, it is in different way. You must know this thing, because anytime in your life you might face this type of circumstances. So it's a kind request to you all to go through. Now, what is the qualification of the judge of the Supreme Court? No, High Court. As per the provision of the Constitution, the person eligible to be appointed to the High Court should be a citizen of India, should have served for a minimum of 10 years on any of the judicial posts in the lower courts of the Indian states, should have at least 10 years of practice as an advocate in the High Court, should be a distinguished jurist, constitutional expert, or a famous lawmaker as per the opinion of the president, should be below 62 years of age. So just like same criteria, of the Supreme Court. Here it is High Court. So the person might have been working for about 10 years as a good judge, in lower court, a perfect jurist, a law framer, we can say, for at least 10 years. And the judge of the High Court has to take an oath of secretary in front of the governor of the state or any person appointed by the governor and sign the corresponding pledge. So, according to the constitution, the person must be within the government, with the constitutional laws, etc. Now, like that, the same of we had gone through the Supreme Court, we are having the jurisdiction of the High Court. The power and the function of the High Court can be divided into following three jurisdictions. Number one, as we had gone through in Supreme Court, is the original jurisdiction. Under the original jurisdiction, the High Court is empowered to issue directions, orders or writs, including writs in the nature of habeas corpus to any person, authority and any government in case of violation of the fundamental rights of the citizen. So we can say, just like the same that we have, it has been derived in the constitution, means it protects the fundamental rights of the citizen. If any case writ regarding this thing, it is been discussed in the High Court. The High Court has the authority in the case related to companies, marriage, divorce and alimony. The cases of contempt of court, land revenue and its embarrassment, land reforms and written case can also be carried out in the High Court. All writ petition challenging the judgment is given by lower court of the civil and criminal courts can be made in the High Court. These petitions challenging the provisions provided in the entrance examinations. So, original jurisdiction, as we had gone through the Supreme Court, here the original jurisdiction is regarding at the level to the state, we can say. A person can file a writ regarding the cases of land, marriages, money, capital, withdrawal, anything we can say. But it goes according to the fundamental rights of the citizen. And if any offense, it can give a judgment towards them. Apart from there, one last line is written over there, this petition challenging the provisions provided in the entrance examination. In the entrance examinations also, for example, if there is an entrance examination for a UPSC or GPSC board, and if you feel like any corruption is going on, or any we can say some misbelief, some things are being there practiced, so malpractice is done over there, you can file a petition against this thing. So the cases of contempt of court, land revenue and its embarrassment, land reform and written can also be carried out in the High Court. But apart from that, in case of violation of the fundamental right of citizen, such cases are be solved over there. Apart, criminal cases are also, civil cases also are written over there. A petitioner can file a petitions in the High Court if he or she finds some difficulty regarding the judgment given by the lower court, and the person has to carry what? This all thing we are going to discuss in our next session. We are till here, page number 89. Second point we came, appellate jurisdiction, just like same of the Supreme Court. So you can understand we got a particular section, that is jurisdiction, and we are having Supreme Court, Supreme Judge, Supreme Court Chief Justice, other 28 more justices are appointed, 28 justices are appointed by the President too, and with the help of the Chief Justice, Prime Minister and other cabinet ministers are also involved in this. so impartial judgment we can get through. India has the largest, biggest jurisdiction and perfect jurisdiction among the world today. So we must feel proud of it. And it's my kind request to each and every student. I had not seen that how many views are there of my videos. Those who are in need, definitely they will go through the videos. Apart from other subject, English and SS is also important subject for you. I don't say that you go through and through only in this English, but you know you can develop your language within these subjects. Anyhow, language works wherever you go, as you had seen that in High Court and Supreme Court too. You need a language that is English. So from you, someone might become a very good lawyer. Someone of you might become a Chief Justice of High Court, yeah, Supreme Court, yeah, a dominant lawyer who can earn crores and crores rupees in their life. This also is a very good profession, because you are becoming a part of government of India. So there is a very huge career, but for that you have to work hard. You have to master the language too. So my best wishes for you all. Until that, I would like to stop for this session. We'll meet next time. Thank you very much.